Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Fanadian here. I'd like to welcome you all to another video, and today I'm going to be doing another training camp update. We're now halfway through week 2, and I'm super excited because that means preseason is just like around the corner pretty much. So let's get into some of these stories here. There's nothing too crazy going on. I just got a few updates on who's performing, who's not performing, and a couple injury and health updates here. So let's get started with one of the main stories for week 2, which is tight end coach and co-OC George Godsey did unfortunately catch COVID. He was put on the COVID reserve list and has been gone for all of week 2. Hopefully this guy makes a speedy recovery, but at the same time, this is why you got 2 offensive coordinators on the team, so if one goes down, you still got another guy there to coach the team. But in all seriousness, hopefully this guy makes a speedy recovery. Sathan Carter, Mike Gesicki, and Adam Shaheen also all ended up on the COVID-19 list. These guys are all tight ends for the team. Close contacts with George Godsey. It really sucks to see these guys missing time here during training camp because this is really important time for them to, get used to the offense, build up chemistry with Tua and all that stuff. But luckily, rookie tight end Hunter Long has been able to take advantage of the situation and has been balling out here. From what I've heard, I've seen a few clips of him catching passes from Tua, and he's looking pretty good. One of the other things to track here is one of the stories throughout this offseason is the fact that when it comes down to cutting down to the 53-man roster, and your teams are looking at these bubble players, a lot of NFL sources are saying that it might come down to who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated, and Adam Shaheen is one of these guys that's out there posting a lot of anti-vax nonsense on his Twitter. So hopefully he could get his act together, because if not, he might end up losing his roster spot here to some of these, younger players, vaccinated players. Next up, a bit more of a more positive story is Tua has continued to ball out here in week 2 of training camp. He is apparently looking really good here when in the red zone drills. And the main theme when it comes to people talking about Tua this week is confidence. Apparently the guy is looking way more confident according to his teammates and coaches and just beat reporters there looking at him play. And it makes sense that he would be more confident this year. He's had more time to recover from the injury, more time to practice. He's coming in this year as the guy, the number one dude that the team is built around. And you love to see your quarterback being confident, because if he's confident, it's going to trickle down to the rest of the team. It's going to make your offense better. It's going to make your defense better and your special teams better. So seeing a confident Tua is really great, and hopefully he continues to keep on developing and playing good in training camp, because I am really rooting for this guy here in year Tua here. Next up, DJ Fluker was released from the team on an injury settlement. It turns out that meniscus injury was pretty bad, so hopefully he's able to bounce back from this. It sucks for the Finns because he would have been a pretty good veteran depth piece to have, and it sucks for him because, like I said, he's a veteran player. He's in his 30s, and this might end up being the end of his career. Hopefully it's not, and he's able to bounce back and, become fully healthy after this. So, best of wishes there to DJ Fluker. Sorry you had to get released. And the main other big story here from week 2 is on Tuesday. Pads did go on, which means training camp is finally getting serious and real. And we can start looking at these trenches players and how they're performing. And what's going on with the trenches players is apparently the defensive line has just been bullying the O-line. That does tend to happen in training camp, like every year when the pads first come on, the defense starts popping off on the offense. And then, once we get deeper into training camp, things will balance out a bit more. This is something both good and bad to hear, because obviously you want to hear that your defensive line is playing great, but you don't want to hear that your O-line's playing bad, especially when that's one of the big question marks for the team coming into the season. But looking at the D-line play good is really nice, especially because I've been hearing a lot of good reports about how Christian Wilkins is looking. Apparently Raekwon Davis has been playing really good, and Adam Butler, who they signed in free agency, has also been playing really good apparently and getting a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. And I've heard a lot of good things about pretty much everyone on the D-line, so that's great to see. Unfortunately, on the O-line, not as many good stories. Apparently, Mckinney's been really struggling here in week 2. The report from Omar Kelly on Monday was he was actually practicing with the third-string players. A lot of people are saying he did come into training camp overweight, so that could have been a punishment for him. But we are really counting on these young guys to step up here and perform in year 2. It's really going to depend on how good our offense plays, how much our O-line develops. So hopefully Mckinney could get his act together here and can start playing better. I have heard a lot of good things about Robert Hunt and some good things about Austin Jackson, so there is still hope for the O-line. While Mckinney has been playing with the third strings, apparently rookie Liam Eichenberg has been playing with the first string players at left guard, so we'll have to see what happens with that. The Finns did talk a lot about cross-training players, so You never know. Maybe they will move Eichenberg to left guard permanently. Laramie Tunsil played left guard his first year. We really don't know what's going to happen with these O-line and where all these guys are going to end up until we get to week 1 of the NFL season. And it is just like, day 2 of pads, so don't look into a lot of this stuff too deeply. A lot is going to change as we get closer to the season. And next up, Benardrick McKinney, who the team signed in free agency, the linebacker from the Houston Texans, has apparently been playing really good and has just been a monster when it comes to stopping the run, which you love to see because stopping the run game has been something the Dolphins defense has really struggled with these last few years. So if Benardrick could come in here and kind of fix that, that will be a huge boost for our defense, because if we could stop teams from just running on the Fins, they'll have to pass more on the Dolphins' elite secondary, which means more interceptions for dudes like Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and so on. And one more guy that's been performing really good here on the defense in week 2 is Nick Needham, the corner. He has kind of taken advantage of the whole Xavier Howard situation with X not practicing, has been playing a lot of outside corner, and has been playing really good. A lot of these clips the Dolphins are uploading to Twitter of defensive highlights, a lot of them have been of Nick Needham, and I'm excited to see this guy continue to develop. He's developed and improved his entire time with the Dolphins, so if this guy could start becoming a lockdown corner, that would really help the team. Justin Coleman has apparently also been playing pretty good in the slot, but one corner we haven't heard a lot about, which makes me kind of sad, is Noah Igbenogany, because I was really hoping to hear a lot of good stories about this guy at this point of training camp, but I haven't been really hearing too much about him, so hopefully within the next few days here we start to hear some more good Noah Igbenogany stories. Jason Sanders has been just destroying balls at training camp apparently, but I don't think that's really news because that's just what's expected from Jason Sanders. He was a first-team All-Pro last year, and of course he's just going to be a beast when it comes to kicking the football. Punter Michael Pilardi has also apparently been slaying balls as well, so that's nice to see because the special teams was a great strength of the Dolphins last year, so to see our specialists continue to play good is really nice. And if you want an update on the Xavier Howard situation, there really isn't other one other than the team is currently still working on trying to work things out with him. Apparently multiple teams are still calling to make a trade for X, but the asking price that the Dolphins have put on him, I guess you could say, to trade for X is apparently super high and really steep, and no team's willing to pay it. So hopefully everything gets worked out here pretty soon and this doesn't continue on into the preseason and we could see him play some games. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the team right now. Let me know what you guys think of this video. I do read the comments. I bought a tripod. It's in the mail. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more Dolphins content. And until then, thanks for watching everybody, and hopefully I see you in the next video.